Welcome, Luke. Taking a step back from the more detailed findings, what would be the one thing that you would change going forward?
Well, I think at a general level, the government needs to identify a clear national diagnostics industrial strategy. Encouragingly, the government has published its medtech strategy recently, and it features a number of references to diagnostics, so we're clearly seeing diagnostics come to the fore. That said, diagnostics needs to be put at the centre in any event because the government has to deliver on the commitment that it made during the pandemic to build the UK diagnostics industry. However, on reading that strategy and appreciating that it's provided at a high level, there are only a few references to public procurement within the strategy. And I think that public procurement generally and how to get it right needs to be a central feature of any diagnostics industrial strategy going forward. So an emphasis on procurement.
And how would you put procurement at the centre of that strategy?
I think there's a number of things that we could do in both policy and practical terms. Just to give some examples of recommendations from the white paper, the government could set up a focused expert procurement group. This would provide a means by which the group could identify how to develop effective procurement within the context of the diagnostic sector, and also how procurement could support a wider domestic diagnostics industrial strategy. A second example would be to establish a government to industry supplier forum. So this would be a focused means of engagement with industry by which the government could identify its key requirements, potential market opportunities that could arise, and also any opportunities for partnerships in terms of research and development and production.
Having analysed procurement and regulation, are there any general or cross-cutting themes that seem to emerge from the paper?
Yes, a recurring observation that we got from our interviews and questionnaires was a general lack of communication, both at the start of the pandemic and regularly throughout. Ultimately, we did find instances where procurement processes, validation processes and regulatory approvals processes could have been more visible. We do identify means within the white paper to address some of these communication issues. Just to take one example, the government could publish interim reviews of its validation and regulatory approval decisions. This could provide early, quick sight for the public and industry of what's going wrong, what's going well, and what could be improved. Otherwise, if there's a lack of effective communication, it could create perceptions of unequal treatment. In the worst cases, it could lead to protracted legal challenges, which ultimately erodes public trust.
And would you say there are any other themes that emerge?
Yes, I think another recurring theme in the white paper concerns the need for better and more process guidance on validation, procurement and approvals. Suppliers had to navigate various gov.uk websites to identify the various routes to procurement, to validation and approval. Guidance could be written in a way that more clearly identifies who is ultimately responsible for various decisions, and more importantly, how decisions are actually made. I think if that guidance can be published, it would reduce instances of claims that decision making is arbitrary and might even potentially mitigate the risk of legal challenge.
Dr. Luke Butler, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.